Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Monday, May 2nd, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, I'll be taking a quick look back at yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about my core plays for today, and then going over my top stacks for the FanDuel main slate as well. But without further ado, we'll get into it with a recap of yesterday's picks. First off, we had Corbin Burnes at the pitcher position, $10,700. Got to 49 points. He was a hit yesterday. Technically, he's the third best pitcher on the slate. You know, at that highest price tag, you'd expect him to be the best pitcher, but unfortunately did not win the game. If he won the game, then he would have been tied for first. But unfortunately, he was the third, but 49 points, never going to complain about that. That is still a hit in my book. Then we move down to second baseman, Ketel Marte, $2,500. Kind of a guy that's been up and down so far this season, a lot more down than up so far, but got to 12.2 points, so he was a hit yesterday as well. Then we had Joey Wendell at $2,600, just kind of a cheaper pay down option. He got 6 points, so I did give him a push yesterday. Then Willy Adames, who we thought would do pretty well yesterday, he only got 6 points, so he was a push as well at $3,400. Then last but not least, we had Andrew Benintendi at $2,800, got to 12.2 points, so he was a hit as well. So a pretty solid day overall. We had 3 hits and 2 pushes, so can't really complain there. If you had some other good plays to go alongside these guys, did pretty well. I had Harrison Bader myself, who I did mention in yesterday's video. He ended up hitting a home run, so that helped quite a bit, as well as Mike Trout, who had over 40 points. So it was a pretty solid day for me overall. Hopefully you guys had some of those players as well. Everyone that I did mention was also in my cheat sheet. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into my core picks for today. So we're going to start off at the pitcher position with Zach Gallen, $9,100. Averaging just over 29 points on the season. He's actually pitched pretty well so far. Obviously, the Diamondbacks aren't the greatest team in the world, so you might not get a win out of him, but he is pitching against his former team today. Doesn't really have history against many of these hitters. Usually favors the pitcher in that case. If you want to go with the whole revenge game narrative, obviously they did trade him away for Jazz Chisholm. Definitely could be some revenge game narrative there today as well. Then we move down to second base with Jet McNeil, $2,800. He's averaging just over 10 fantasy points per game on the season. Pretty good start to the year for him. Goes against Max Fried and the Atlanta Braves today. He's 7 for 20 versus him in his career. Then we move down to third base with Eduardo Escobar, $3,200, averaging just over 9 fantasy points on the season. Kind of had a hard start, cooled off for a little bit, and it seems like he's picking it up again. He has 3 multi-hit games in his last 6 games, so that's definitely something we're looking for, especially when it comes to a DFS perspective. He has 2 for 5 versus Max Fried in his career, so could be some good history there as well. And then we move down to our shortstop in Bo Bichette, $3,300, averaging just over 8 fantasy points per game on the season. Not the greatest start to the year for him, and I really don't think he'd argue that either, but there is some good history there today versus Jordan Montgomery, 4 for 8 with 2 home runs. Top hitter versus pitcher, stats, splits, matchup, whatever you want to call it on the day. So Bo Bichette, definitely someone of interest. And then last but not least, we got Kyle Tucker at $3,400, averaging just over 10 fantasy points per game. Kind of been on a hot streak as of late. He's going against Marco Gonzalez today, who he is 4 for 12 with 1 home run against in his career. So there definitely could be some upside there once again, but if you go with the 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $13,200 remaining, $3,300 per player. So maybe you can pay up for a couple players, maybe pay down for a couple players. If you want to take just a little bit more balanced approach, that's perfectly fine as well. And then with that being said, I'm going to go over my top GPP stacks for the day. Unfortunately, my article is not published yet over at WeBetATS.com, so I won't be able to show you guys kind of the cheat sheet and the top GPP stacks. But once that is posted, I'll leave a link to that down in the comments below. But in terms of the top GPP stacks for today, we have the Houston Astros going against Marco Gonzalez. A lot of these hitters have very, very good history versus him. It was the same case earlier this season when they went against each other. Marco Gonzalez got the better of them the last time out. He's also dealing with a little bit of a wrist injury as well, so he might not pitch as deep into this game. Could be a favorable matchup for them overall. Then we have the exact opposite side of that game. The Mariners going against Jake Odorizzi, who's pretty much struggled so far this year outside of his most recent start. Some of these Mariners hitters have hit him rather well in the past, so it could be a matchup that we can take advantage of there. Might not be the highest ownership as well in terms of stacks, so it could be a favorable one for GPPs as well. Then we have the Toronto Blue Jays, who have hit Jordan Montgomery very, very well. He's kind of been hit or miss this season, so he's either going to pitch really good or he's going to give up some runs. Hopefully it's on the giving up some run side. And then last but not least, we have the Mets versus Max Fried. Fried's pitched rather well this year outside of the first start of the year against Cincinnati. So could be a tough matchup, but the Mets have hit him well in the past, so could be a GPP stack to attack once again today. But with that being said, these are my core picks and top GPP stacks for today, May 2nd. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate. Might be someone from my core 5, might be someone from my top GPP stacks, or maybe a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you guys have to say. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at CoachCraigSports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, mainly in terms of MLB and USFL DFS at this point in time. But once we get back to the NFL and NBA regular season, we'll be covering those as well. Obviously, we'll be having my NFL draft grades come out division by division, team by team in the coming days for about a week or so. There'll be 8 different videos for that, so if that's something you're into, definitely be sure to check that out as well. And then with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.